Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to BYJU'S Exam Prep. My name is Navin, and today we will continue with our 500 most expected DILR questions for CAT. And today is the part 15 for this series. Okay. So I hope you guys are fine. You guys are doing well, right? This is actually 14. So let's start with our today's set. Yeah, hi Ishank. So like always, we will be doing two sets. Okay, so let's start with our first set for today. So there are 5 cities A, B, C, D, and E. Cherry has to go from city D to city A. The distance between the cities in kilometers is marked on each arrow. The arrows indicate the direction in which a city can be reached through another city. There are 2 modes of transport, bus and train. The speed of bus and train is 5 km per hour and 10 km per hour respectively. So bus is slower than train. Cherry has to wait at cities E, B and C for 20 minutes, 10 minutes and 15 minutes respectively. There is no train route available in city C. Okay. It is also known that there is no train. As in, nobody can reach city C via a train and nobody can leave city C via a train. Second point is, if Cherry wants to travel by bus, she must have to pass through city C. So two things. एक तो बात हो गया कि city C में train route है नहीं. And the second thing is, if you want to travel by bus, it is mandatory that you will have to go via C. You cannot take the route DEBA. अगर बस से जा रहे हो तो DABA नहीं ले सकते. So you may take DCA, you may take DECA, and so on and so forth. Right? Okay. So there are 2 modes of transport, bus and train. The speed of the bus is 5 km per hour and 10 km per hour. Cherry has to wait at cities E, B, and C for at city E. It's a wait of 20 minutes. At city B, there is a wait of 10 minutes. And at city C, there is a wait of 5 minutes. Right? So there is no waiting time at D and A. There is no train route availability in C. And if you have to travel by bus, you will have to go via C. Okay. So let's look at the different routes we have. So if we start, we can see that from D, we can go to C, right? Give me a moment. Yeah. So the route being DC, the distance being 45 kilometers, right? Is the distance given in kilometers? Yes, the distance between the cities are in kilometers. So the bus is going to take 45 by 5, that is 9 hours, and train is going to take half the time. Remember, speed double to this time constant, and then the time gets halved. So 9 will become 4.5, or 45 by 10 is anyways 4.5. Okay, let's look at the route DE, 35. So 35 by 9, whatever that will be, and it will be, 35 by 5, karna hai na? That is going to be 7, and 7 ka half, 3.5. So these are the time in hours that the bus and the train, they are going to take to cover that particular route. Okay, next comes in EC. So EC is 55, 55 by 5 is 11, and this is 5.5. If you look at EB, EB is 100, 100 by 5 is 20, or 100 by 10 is 10. If we look at CB, that is 70, 70 by 5 is 14, or 14 ka half is 7. If we look at CA, it's 80, 80 by 5 is 16, and 16 ka half is 8. If we look at BA, that is 40, 40 by 5 is 8, or 8 ka half is 4, or 40 by 10 is 4, same thing. So having known, I mean, this table is not necessary because the calculations, I mean, the division that we had to do was distance upon speed for each bus and train. Was not that calculative. But looking at this, we'll have a very good idea as to, which all things are needed to be added and so on. Okay. Which city will she definitely not pass through if she wants to reach A in less than 30 hours by bus? By bus. So the different routes are, I'm going to hide myself. Yeah. So the different routes that we have are D, E, B, A, right? The next route is D, E, then C, and then B, then A. The next route is then D, E, C, and directly A, and the next route is D, C, A, right? D, E, B, A is this particular route. D, E, C, B, A is this particular route. DECA is this particular route, and DCA is the bottommost route. So these are the four routes. Now it is given that अगर बस से जाओगे तो सिटी सी से पास करना पड़ेगा. That means ये बस से नहीं जा सकते, right? Now if we look at DECBA, okay, we can add the total distance right here. Combination nahi chahiye, right? So DE is 35, EC is 55, so that is 90. CB is 70, so that is 160. 160 plus 40, this is 200 kilometers. 200 kilometers, if somebody is going to travel at the speed of 5 km per hour, will take 40 minutes to kam se kam, right? Okay, if you look at DECA, that is going to be 35 plus 55, that is 90, and then another 80, which is CA. So 90 plus 80 is 170. 170 at the speed of 5, it is definitely going to take more than 30 hours. Okay, the next one is DCA. DCA is 45 plus 80, which is 125. 125 divided by 5 is 25. And there is a 5 minutes waiting there. So it's approximately 25 hours. So that means the person is going to travel, Cheryl is going to take this particular route, which is going to be DCA. है ना? And which city will she definitely not pass? Of course, E and B both. So that means more than one city exists where Cherry is not going to pass if she is going to travel by bus, right? So D is the answer. Next, which of the following cannot be the possible time in hours she will take while traveling from D to A? ठीक है. So let's look at, these were the four routes, right? DEBA. So the first route is DEBA. The next route is DECBA. The next route is DCBA. And the fourth route is DCA. Now, DEBA is a total of 175 kilometers. DCBA is 90, 160, 200 kilometers. DCBA is 155 kilometers. And DCA is 45 plus 80, which is 125 kilometers. Okay. So if we look at DEBA, if it was supposed to be taken only by bus, it's not possible. Can it take the train? Yes, it can take the train. If it takes the entire journey by train, it is going to move at the speed of 10 kilometers per hour. So it's going to take 175 by 10, which is 17.5 hours. Plus, there is going to be another it was how many minutes? 20 minutes at E and 10 minutes at B. So 17 hours, 30 minutes. We have 20 at E and 10 at B, right? And 5 at C, of course. So 17 hours, 30 minutes, and then another 30 minutes, one stoppage at E and another at B. So that is another 30 minutes. So this is going to give us 18 hours. So can we say 18 hours is a possible time? It is asking us cannot be possible. So this is a possibility. Okay? So C option is not the answer. Next is if you look at DECBA. If DECBA, somebody is going to travel by bus, let's say. So 200 by 5, that is going to be 40 hours. And then ECBA would mean 20 plus 10 plus 5, which is going to be 35 minutes that we will have, right? So 40 hours and 35 minutes, this is one possibility if somebody takes the entire route by bus. Is it 40 DEC? So that is 90 plus 40 plus 35. Okay. DCBA is 155 kilometers. So 155, I can convert it into maybe option D. We can try. So 155, somebody is going to take the bus route. So that is going to be divided by 5. That is going to take us 31 hours. And then because at C and B, that is another 15 minutes. So 31 hours, 15 minutes is what we will have, right? It's not there in options. DCA, if we follow it, it's going to be via, let's say, bus. 125 by 5 is 25 hours. And then because it's going to take DCA, that's going to be another 5 minutes. So it is going to be 25 hours and 25 hours, 5 minutes. 20, 10 and 5. 20, 10, achha, 20, 10 and 15 it is. Sorry, it's 20, 10 and 15. That's what I was thinking, ki, what is the mistake that is happening? So this is going to change by 10. So this is going to give us 45 minutes. DEBA, C was not included, so it will stay 30 minutes. DCBA, it's going to increase by 10 minutes. So this is going to be 25 minutes. And this is 15 minutes. Right? So 40 hours, 45 minutes, can we say it is 40.75? So this is also a possibility. 25 hours, 15 minutes is 25.25 hours. So we are pretty sure that D option, that is 34.5, ye nahi hone wala. We don't have to check the combination of bus and train ka, because if the bus is giving us this much, train will definitely give us lesser. I'm talking about the last 3 cases, right? So 34.5 hours nahi ho sakta because baki तीनों possible ho rakhe hain. D will be the answer. Okay. Next, if Cherry reaches city A at 8 p.m., traveling through all the cities, when did she arrive at city C? If she has to travel through all the cities, so the route that she is going to take is going to be DECBA, and there is no other path that she is going to take, right? And since C doesn't have the train path, so can we have, hold on, let me just go through. Okay. So this is 20, 10 and 15. 8 p.m. Looks like there is some problem here. If she arrives city A at 8 p.m, तो मैं सोच रहा हूं कि सी पे तो 8 p.m के पहले होना चाहिए, isn't it? How come these timings are beyond 8 p.m, right? It doesn't make sense, isn't it? I hope you guys will agree. सिटी ए पहुंचना है 8 p.m. So how come at city C somebody is going to be after 8 p.m? नहीं. Also, this particular path, which is DE, if somebody is going to take a bus, it's going to take 7 hours. If somebody is going to take a train, he's going to take 3.5 hours. So DE के बाद the next route is EC. Somebody will have to take a bus because city C पे train available नहीं है. So that is going to take 11 hours, right? Then CB is going to take via bus at, is going to take what? 14 hours. And then BA is going to take via bus as 16 hours or maybe by train as 8 hours. So we have two possibilities. So suppose even if we happen to say that A पे 8 p.m. पे है, then whether it took a bus or a train, depending upon that, B is going to be at B, station B, city B, she is going to be 8 hours before that. 8 hours before that is going to be 12 p.m. or 16 hours before that, that could be 4 a.m. Now, अब CB travel करने में it took 14 hours. So if we go back 14 hours, so 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. is ठीक है, normal subtract भी कर सकते हैं. 12 p.m. to 12 a.m. reverse order is 12 hours and then there is another 2 more hours. So that is going to be 10 a.m. right? Acha, this was 12 p.m. no? So this is going to be 10 p.m. And if it is 4 a.m. 4 a.m. से 14 hours पहले, it can be and it doesn't say that she is traveling by bus, no? Right. So if it is 4 a.m. and 14 hours before, if you look at it, so it is 4 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's 12 hours behind and then another 2 more hours. So this is going to be 2 p.m. So we have two possibilities and of course we will be adding those 10-15 minutes, वो भी include करना चाहिए. So now pretty sure that since we are having two scenarios or two timings at which she can reach city B, so that gives us कि D होना चाहिए. Not possible, right? दो possibilities हैं. Even if we start from the station D, then also the journey DE maybe by bus or train. So that's a completely different pair of timings, right? Abhi to the only possibility is go DE, then EC, and then CB. It says that you can cross through all the cities. ठीक है, D होना चाहिए. Fine. Next, if Cherry did not pass through city B and took more than 32 hours to reach A, so the only possibility is path-wise, it's going to be DE, CA, or it's simply going to be DCA. Now, DECA is a total of 170 kilometers, while DCA is 125 kilometers, right? And the timings were 20 minutes here and 15 minutes here. So we will add those timing. Now 170 kilometers, the travel time by only bus is going to be definitely 34 hours. And DCA travel time by bus, even the slowest mode of transportation, will take it 25 hours. Since it says it takes more than 32 hours, so DCA wala route to nahi ho sakta. It has to be DACA. Now, if somebody is going to take DACA, it's not just going to take those 34 hours, but also the stoppage time of 20 and 15 minutes, that is 35 minutes. Now, which of the following is true? She took 35.6 hours in total. No, this is not 35.6, क्योंकि bus slowest चल रहा है तब भी नहीं हो रहा. So this is not true. She did not pass through city E. Definitely not true. She traveled by bus and she took 31.5 hours to reach A. There can be a scenario, है ना? Okay, तो अभी check करना पड़ जाएगा इधर. See, if we look at DE, if we take only the bus, it's going to take 7 hours. If we take train, it's going to take 3.5 hours. It's the part that we solved in the table, right? Next, if we look at EC, if somebody takes a bus, that's 11 hours. If somebody takes a train, that is going to be 5.5 hours. And finally, CA, the third route of this journey. Somebody takes bus, that's going to take 16 hours. And if somebody takes a train, that is going to be 8 hours. Now, we can't take a train in EC and CA because C pe train station hai nahi. So the combinations we can have is 7 plus 11 plus 16 plus the wait time of 20 plus 35 minutes. So 35 minutes at E and C together. Or we can take train in DE part and then bus in B and EC and CA wala part. So it's going to be 3.5 hours less. So this will result in 3.5 plus 11 plus 16 plus that those 35 minutes that doesn't move, right? 7 plus 11 plus 16 is 34 hours and 35 minutes. Or the second possibility is कि train and bus ka combination, it will be 3.5 hours less. So this is going to be 31 hours and 5 minutes, right? तो ये एक timing हो सकता है. She traveled by bus. This is also not necessary. So instead of 31.5 hours, I think it will be better if the option had been if she took 31 hours 5 minutes. This will be a better one, है ना? क्योंकि एक ऑप्शन तो सही होना चाहिए. वो 0.5 is going to be actually what? 3 minutes, no? 3 minutes तो लेना नहीं है हमें. So it should have been 31 hours 5 minutes. Of course, she can travel either by bus or she may decide to take a combination of bus and train. सो डी हो जाना चाहिए आंसर। सारे क्वेश्चंस का ऑप्शन डी ही था क्या? डी। सो शी टुक 31 hours 5 minutes to reach it. Okay, the next one. The following box whisker chart shows the information on scores of 5 students, A, B, C, D, and E in 7 tests. Okay, there are 7 tests that happen. Note, the top and bottom end of the candle represents the average scores of last 4 tests and average scores of first 4 tests. So we're talking about the top and the bottom of the candle. Okay. And for average scores of last 4 tests and average scores of first 4 tests respectively. Okay, ये थोड़ा सा उल्टा हो गया. Normally ये top 4 होना चाहिए. So bottom end talks about first 4 tests and the top end talks about last 4 tests. ठीक है. Lower end of the vertical line represents the score in the first test. This is the first test. While the higher end of the vertical line represents the score in the last test. So this particular part is about last test. The middle line represents the average of all the tests barring fourth, as in first 3 and last 3. इसका average ये given है. ठीक है, first 3 tests and last 3 tests. All the values in the above graph were a multiple of 2.5. Okay, so we will take 20, 22.5, 25, 25, 27.5, 30. So matlab 4 segments. For example, if you take the case of student D in particular, the average score of last 4 is 87.5, average of scores of first 4 is this, and average. ठीक है. If you are going to talk about A, okay, this guy A. This guy must have written 7 tests, right? T1, T2, T3, T4, T5, T6 and T7. 7 tests इसने लिखे हैं. First 4 tests अगर देखा जाए, T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4, इसका average is given as ये bottom वाला line which is 60, right? This is 60. Okay. Now, if we talk about the last 4 tests, so we can write this as T4 plus T5 plus T6 plus T7. Last 4 का average 4 है तो divided by 4. This is going to be the top, the upper part of the candle, which is 90. And then ये middle वाला जो है, okay. The bottom one is 50, that is our first test. And topmost is 100, that is our 7th test. Also, ये जो middle वाला number है, that is the average of T1, T2, T3, T4 नहीं ले सकते, T5 plus T6 plus T7. So there are 6 such tests. उसका average is given as 80. So if we look carefully, we have a total of 5 unknowns and we have only 3 equations, right? So we won't be able to solve it, but we can form a combination. So we're not going to write down कि हर किसी का क्या था first test, second test. That is going to be visible. Every time we will solve a question, we will use the values. ठीक है? चलो. Having understood this, let's look at the questions. Let me copy paste the graph. Give me a moment. ठीक है. Question says, if the marks of all 5 students in 4th tests were arranged in ascending order, then what is the median marks of the students in the 4th test? Okay, so looks like हमें 4th test निकालना है. ठीक है. If you talk about this student A, can we say the sum of the first 4, that is T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus T4, this will be equal to 4 times of bottom number, which is 60. Similarly, can we say T2 plus T3 plus not T2. Can we say T4 plus T5 plus T6 plus T7? Last 4 tests का average अगर 90 है तो उसका sum 4 into 90 है. And also can we say T1 plus T2 plus T3? T4 को ignore कर देते हैं as it is given in the stem of the question. इनका average is the number 80, so this sum is going to be 6 into 80. If we pay a little attention, if we add these two and then subtract this, we will get the value of 2 times T4. देखो, T1, T2, T3, T5, T6, T7, T1, T2, T3, T5, T6, T7, these will subtract. We will get 2 times T4. So we will be getting, if we add these two, we will have 4 into 150. Right? 4 into 60 plus 4 into 90 is 4 into 150. So, which is going to give us 600 minus 8 into 6, 48 minus 480. This is 120, but this is equal to 2 times T4, right? So, T4 is going to be half of it. So, the A ka, if we talk about the 4th test, this is 60. Similarly, if I want to solve for B, I shouldn't be writing everything, right? अपन क्या करने वाले हैं? We will be doing 4 into the bottom number, which looks 55, plus 4 times the upper number, which is 80, minus 6 times the middle number, which looks 65. So this is going to give us 4 into 135 minus 6 into 65. And let's not forget to half it, reason being कि वो 2 times T4 और 4th test का marks देगा B का. So we will be having 2 cancels out. So we will have 2 into 135 minus 3 into 65. Right? So this is 270 minus 195, which will give us this as 70 plus 5, 95, 75. So B का 75 आया. If we use the same logic for C now, थोड़ा और जल्दी कर देते हैं इसको. C का हो जाएगा 2 times. मैं अब लास्ट एक्सप्रेशन पे ध्यान दे रहा हूं. 2 times the bottom number and the top number, which is 35 and 85. 35 plus 85 is 120. So 2 times of 120 minus 3 times of ये वाली value, which is 60. So 3 times of 60. So 240 minus 180, this is going to give us 60. तो ये भी 60 होगा. D का क्या होएगा? So D is going to be 2 times of the bottom number, which is 55, plus the upper number, which is 85 से ज़्यादा है. This is 87.5. So we will have 55 plus 87.5, which is going to give us 50 plus 80 is 130. 5 plus 7.5 is 12.5. So 142.5 is what we will have. 2 into 142.5 minus 3 times ये middle वाला जो है line purple, which is at 75. So this is going to give us 285 minus 225. Okay, this still gives us 60. Okay, iska bhi 60 hai. So I think that even if we don't find out the value for E, see, if 3 numbers are 60 out of 5 numbers, तो 60 will be the median anyways, no? तो E का check करने का जरूरत है नहीं. Suppose E turns out to be the smallest, which looks most likely कि E will be, then we will have E 60, 60, 60, 75. Middle number तो 60 ही रहेगा, right? So the answer is going to be 60. It's a theta question, so we have to put in 60. Next, the average marks of B in 5th and 6th test is more than the average of how many other students in 5th and 6th tests? Since it's a theta question, we are supposed to get a definite answer. Let's restart. If we look at A, we can say that the sum of the first hold on. We are only talking about 5th and 6th, isn't it? ठीक है. So I'm going to use the data from the previous one. 4th test का marks A का 60 है ना? And we also know that the sum of the last के 4 tests का marks is going to be 4 into 90, which is 360. And we also know that 100 is the value of T7. T4 की value हमें पता है 60 है. So from here, can we say that we can get this sum of the marks obtained in the test 5 and 6? $360 minus 160. है ना? If you use the same logic, we can figure this out for B, C, D and E. ठीक है, तो एक एक करके सबका find out कर लेते हैं. Student B got 75 in T4, 4th test. And it is also given that T4 plus T5 plus T6, sorry, T4, T5, T6, T7 का जो sum होगा, that is going to be 4 into 80, which is going to be 320. Out of these, we know that T4 is 75 and the 7th is, this is 95. So from here, can we say that T5 plus T6 is 75 plus 95, which is 170. That will result in 150. Right? Okay. Similarly for C, we know that 60 था 4th subject में. So T4 plus T5 plus T6 plus T7 for student C is going to be 4 into ऊपर वाला number, which is 85, which is going to give us 340. And we also know that T4 is 60. Previous question में solve करा है. And T7 सबसे बड़ा number जो है, that is 100 for this. So 160 is going to be subtracted. This will result in the sum of marks obtained in 5th and 6th as 340 minus 160, which is going to give us 180. Okay. Next is let's find out D. D का T4 is 60, हमें पता है. और T4 देखो, see, I'm writing down everything. While solving in the exam, we are supposed to not write down everything. ये T4, T5, T6, T7 जरूरत नहीं है. So this is going to be 4 into the upper value, which is 87.5, right? Which is going to give us 350. Out of this, we know that T4 is 60 and we know that T7, D का highest जो है वो अपना 90 है. So 150 is there, which Doesn't make sense, right? Okay, let's verify this answer ek bar aur. For D, it was 2 into 87.5 plus 55, right? 87.5 plus 55 tha. So this is 142.5, and it's 3 times the middle number, which is 75 here. So 225, and this is going to be 285, which is 60. So fourth test में इसको 60 ही आया था D को. Okay, why I am worried about this is because we will be getting from here, we will be getting from here as T5 plus T6 is equal to 350 minus 60 plus 90, which is 150, which is 200. मतलब T5 plus T6 दोनों 100 है ना? Okay, let's look at E now. E ka fourth. We did not calculate this in the fourth test. How much did it get? So let's solve it here. So for E, this was going to be 2 times the top value and the bottom value, which is 30 and 55, which is 85. So 2 into 85 minus 3 times the middle number, which is 50. So this is going to be simply 20. No, not 20. Acha, no, 20. 170 minus 150 is 20. So for E, the fourth subject marks was simply 20. Which is fine. Okay, yeah. So fourth subject is 20. Still, this is little dubious. But koi nahi, jo aaya hai, let's proceed with that. This is going to be 4 times the upper value, which is 55, which is going to give us 220. Out of this 220, T4 is 20 and T7 is 60. So 80 should be subtracted. This will result in the sum of T5 and T6 as 140. Now, the average marks of B in 5th and 6th, in other words, the total marks of B and B in 5th and 6th test is more than the sum of how many other students in 5th and 6th. Can we say there is only one? ये 150 जो है ये केवल एक स्टूडेंट के 5th and 6th से ज्यादा है, because everyone else has more than, not this, everyone else has more than 150. So the answer is going to be 1. Okay. Next, if the marks of student D in second test were 75, what were the marks in third test for student D? Okay, so we know that first test mein D got a 45 marks. Second test we don't know. It's given as 75. It's given in the question as 75. Third test we need to find out. And fourth test we have already figured it out, right? D का fourth test में 60 आया था. Now, we also know that the average of or sum of the first 4 tests is going to be 4 times ये वाला value, which is 55. Right? D का D की बात हो रही है ना कि B की बात हो रही है? अच्छा, D की बात हो रही है. D का we got as 60, no? फोर्थ में, हाँ ठीक है. So this is going to give us 220, out of which we know that first test was 45, second test mein he got 75, and fourth test mein it was 60. So this will result in third test ka 180, so 40 marks. I hope this is clear, right? 40. Next one, who had the most difference in average of fifth and sixth test and average of second and third test? So we need to find out the first, fourth and seventh, and then we can find out second and third from there and fifth and sixth from there, which I think we have covered most of it in the previous questions. So let's talk about A. If we look at A, T5 plus T6 is 200. Okay, so we have T5 plus T6 as 200, and T2 plus T3 will be something. So we don't know that. Usko hum log solve kar lenge. And then for B, it was 150, 180, 150, 180. So this is B, this is C. As far as I remember, D was 200 and E was 140, right? Sum of the marks in T5 and T6. Sum agar hai to average ka difference bhi wahi karna hai, right? We need to find out the most difference, the biggest difference. So they need to be farther as much as possible. And if you look at T2 and T3 for A, so for so we are going to use this. Okay. For A, we know that sum of the first 4 is going to be 4 into 60, which is 240, out of which T1 is known to be 50. So we will subtract that. And then we will subtract T4. T4 for A we had already calculated previously. So T4 for A is 60, right? So we'll put 60 here. So I'm going to write T4 here as well, so that I don't have to go back again and again. So we got a 60, 75, 60, 60, 20. 60, 75, 60, 60, 20. है ना? ठीक है. So 240 minus 110. So this will result in 130. So T2 plus T3. In T2 or T3 का sum आ जाएगा 130. So this is 130. Okay, let's look at B. B is going to be 4 into the bottom number, which is 55, which is 220. इसमें से अपन T1 minus कर देते हैं. T1 is 50 and let's subtract T4, which is 75, which is going to give this as 125 we need to subtract out of from 220. So this is 95. So T2 plus T3 is 95 here. If we look at C, it's going to be 4 times the bottom width, which is 35, and that is going to give us 140. From there, we are supposed to subtract T4, which is 60, and T1, which is 30. So 90 has to be subtracted, so we get 50 here. So C का हो जाएगा ये 50 T2 plus T3. सबसे ज़्यादा डिफरेंस लग रहा है यही हो गया, right? 50 and 180, that's a gap of 130, right? Let's look at D now. D is going to be 4 into the bottom number, which is 55, which is 220. From 220, we will subtract the T1. T1 is 45, the bottommost. And then we will subtract T4, which is 60. So 105 is to be subtracted, which will left us with 115. So this is 115, T2 plus T3. Now, if you look at E, it's going to be 4 into नीचे वाला width 30 minus उसके नीचे वाला number which is 25 and then T4 as well. T4 is 20. So this is going to give us 120 minus 20 minus 25, which is 75. So the only student wherein we see the maximum difference is student C, है ना? So option C होना चाहिए answer. So option C is the answer. Right? So this was the 8th question. Fine. So I hope you guys liked today's questions, right? The first one was not calculative. All we had to do was write down using bus or train how much time somebody is going to take, how many hours is it going to take to cover the route. In this case, it was a box and whisker graph. Some of the questions we could have solved कि किसका ज़्यादा किसका कम है. For example, in this particular question, the average marks of B in 5th and 6th. So 5th and 6th means here is more than the average of how many other students in 5th and 6th. So we know that एक ही है जो इसके नीचे. Everyone at 5th and 6th is above. Right? So there is only one particular student who has more than this. But in order to reach to that concept, you should know how box and whisker graph they actually work. Okay? ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा अगर दिक्कत होगी तो एक बार C के साथ चेक करना पड़ेगा. Because average of C may lie somewhere here, average of B is going to lie somewhere here. तो मतलब ये इसके नीचे possible है. पर A और D का तो ऊपर ही रहेगा. Right? So we know that the answer is going to be at least 1, maximum 2. So C का एक बार check कर लो. We don't have to check. We did not have to check for A और D. मेरे को बस ये दोनों check कर लेना चाहिए था. Right? So the beauty of box and whisker part. So anything that has to do with comparison, that can be done. But the other questions were based on the calculation. As in इसका number क्या है, इसका marks क्या है. For that, we will need to solve whatever we did, right? Okay, so everyone who is new to us, new to BYJU'S, you can download our app. The link to downloading the app is given in the description below, and you can unlock your 3 days free trial by just entering your mobile number here and click on Start Free Trial. 3 days के लिए full access, okay? And you can enroll to our CAT 2023 and other MBA exams test series. So you will be getting more than 80 mocks, 25 CAT mocks and 55 and above non-CAT mocks. And then you will have more than 10,000 practice questions, video solutions, all of that. If you want to be one among our toppers this year, just like our CAT 2022 toppers, you can join our CAT 2023 comprehensive program. Okay, a new batch is available. Please make sure that you enroll now. These are all the giveaways from our side when you enroll with us. On 16th of July at 11 a.m., Mr. Srinivas is going to take a session as to why, how, and when of MBA. So make sure that you register for this and attend this session. And you can avail up to 90% scholarship. The next scholarship date is 23rd of July at 11 a.m. Again, register for this, write the scholarship test. And don't forget to like and subscribe our social media pages. These are our social media links. Everything is given in the description as well. So please make sure that you join them. Thank you. This is Navin signing off. In the next session, we will do more questions on DILR or Quant. Okay? Until then, take care. I'll see you again. Bye-bye. In question 4, why is option C wrong? Divij, question number 4 में option C wrong. She did not travel by bus. She traveled by a combination of bus and this. Acha, sorry. It says that she took more than 32 hours. So ये तो गड़बड़ी होगा. Okay, got it. So she traveled by bus is what we are supposed to have. एक सेकंड रुको, चेक करने दो. 32 hours. $31.5. She has to travel by bus, because if she travels by train and bus, I think that she is going to take more than 32, will not take more than 32 hours. So D तो ऐसे ही गड़बड़ हो जाना चाहिए था. ठीक है, C होना चाहिए आंसर. You're correct. I missed that part. If she is going to take more than 32 hours, ये नहीं हो सकता. She will travel by bus. So I think I changed that 31 hours, 31.5 था ना, मेरे को वो change नहीं करना चाहिए था. I should have been like वही है ना, तब मेरे को रहता कि नहीं ये possible नहीं है. So 31.5 hours, ये ऐसे ही गलत हो जाना चाहिए था. Got the mistake. $31.5 hours. चलो मैंने चेंज कर दिया. Okay, C is supposed to be the answer. Thank you for pointing that out. Okay, chalo, I'll see you guys again in the next session. Until then, take care.